Hey, it is Thursday, March 28th, and it's our second day in Hong Kong. We started out by going to an area on the island called Stanley, which is kind of a marketplace and a residential area, and a nice beach. And the next stop was Repulse Bay, and also a nice beach, swimming area. You can see here, not too many people in the water, but very beautiful. I think a nice place to live, so much different than downtown Hong Kong proper. This is a religious shrine museum kind of place where they had all the different uh, gods that they worship. So just put these in here because I have no idea who they are or what they represent, but they're brightly colored and they were kind of fun to walk around and look at. There's Buddha. Looks like a dragon there. There were people in here worshiping. I felt a little bit odd walking around taking pictures, but I guess that's what tourists do. So, and last but not least, this happy guy coming up right here. A happy Buddha. Okay, our next stop was the harbor. Now, you probably don't remember this, but there used to be a jumbo restaurant out in the small boat harbor. This is not the cruise ship harbor, but the small boat harbor in Hong Kong. And I was here last time. We actually went out and ate at the restaurant, which was moored out in the middle of this harbor here. And you used to come down to that jumbo dock right there and pick up the transport out to the restaurant. And I'll show you where that restaurant used to be moored. 2 years ago, it got hit really hard by the COVID pandemic, and the guy was towing it somewhere to have it refurbished, and it sunk somewhere out in the middle of the South China Sea. So anyway, we hopped in this sampan for a little trip around the harbor, and I have sped this up quite a bit because it was a fairly long ride. But you can see out in the harbor here, this is the small boat harbor. There's a lot of liveaboards. There's a lot of fishing boats. There's another old seafood restaurant there on the right side, or left side, the green one. And the red one's also an old restaurant. And the harbor is surrounded by all these high rises. I imagine that rich people have an apartment up on top and a dock down below. They can just come down and take their boats out. It's an odd combination here. There's native fishing boats, and there's really nice yachts. Just off to the left here is where the old jumbo seafood restaurant was moored. And it's sad that it's not still there anymore. There's some big dry docks off to the left for working on these boats. They can take some quite large ones. And then up ahead, you're going to see the entrance to the harbor in just a minute. There's a couple of breakwaters up there, left and right. There you can see up ahead the breakwaters. We're going to turn around and head back to the dock in just a minute. So the next part of our trip after we got off the sampan, we took a hop back on the bus and we went up to a place called Victoria Peak, which is the highest peak above Hong Kong, and it's a really good place to go up there and get a good vantage point of what the place looks like from a distance. So here we are at the top of Victoria Peak looking across. We're on the island of Hong Kong proper. Looking across the water out there is Kowloon. And the Serenade is off in the distance on the right. You can just barely see it if you know what you're looking for. And we sailed in from the right-hand side to the dock. And we're the only cruise ship that the captain knows of that got permission to sail out to the left with all the lights of Hong Kong on that evening. So they delayed our sailing long enough that we could see all those lights. So
Steve, when we came in, were you out on deck, Steve, when we came in the harbor?
We were taking a look at because it was beautiful. It was totally fascinating to see the lights on the buildings.
No, we wouldn't have been this way, no.
Anyway, if you look down, straight down, you're going to see the funicular track that we took. So we took the bus up and rode the funicular down. There's the track and the station down below. And the next segment you're going to see is us in the funicular going down the mountain, looking at the buildings. And I sped this one up too to make the whole video just a bit shorter. So all the seats face up. They face up the hill whether you're going up or down. And they had a stop right here, just a few yards down the track from the station. There must be some local residents that get on and off there. There you are, looking across the water over to Kowloon again. Anyway, we really enjoyed our second day in Hong Kong. And there's lots of things to see. I'm sure we could have spent a couple of more days there looking at everything else there was. Look at the track, how steep it is right here. The inclination increases significantly. We enjoyed our time here, and we're looking forward to heading to Taipei, Taiwan on our next stop. So if you haven't already done so, be sure and tune into the video that shows the lights of Hong Kong at night as we sailed out. It's beautiful. And I'll just leave you with this happy guy one more time.